What's happening? This is Joshua Boetsi and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Now, when Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz Jr., one of the first people out there laughing and sniggering and poking fun and this, that and the other was Deontay Wilder. When it happened with Wilder, Joshua didn't. He called him a warrior and a gladiator and everything. So this goes to show who the better man really is, okay? Who's the snake and who's the nice guy, really, doesn't it? But anyway, it is what it is. Now, Anthony Joshua was asked on Sky Sports, what do you think of the silence from Deontay Wilder? And Anthony Joshua says, well, he doesn't really know what to make of it because, I mean, first and foremost, Deontay Wilder is one of the most prolific people out on social media, and he has been for the longest time, but he takes an absolute drubbing and then just disappears off the face of the earth, and all we hear is excuses about Glovegate and the costume and the water and Mark Breland and blah, 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 blah. It's embarrassing. It's made an already embarrassing situation and the fight even more embarrassing with all the excuses. And what's even worse is that his team, him or his team, allowed the contract to expire for the rematch for Tyson Fury. That ain't normal behavior. It really isn't. But anyway, Joshua says that he didn't really understand or quite see why Wilder is so quiet. And he wants to hear what it is that Deontay Wilder has to say about why he lost, about why the contract was expired, about the excuses that's been flying around. He wants to hear from Deontay Wilder, as most people do as well. But for me, I think that Wilder's just humiliated. He's embarrassed, and he was hoping that all the rumours and conspiracies were going to go that far that people would actually start properly investigating and something will come of it. Because he never really wanted the Tyson Fury third fight, in my opinion. I mean, as much as he says that he would, of course, he ain't going to come out and say, nah, I certainly don't want another absolute drubbing. But anyway, Anthony Joshua, he says that for him, there's a couple of scenarios for Deontay Wilder. First and foremost, he could be sat on the edge of the lake with his head in his hand thinking, what on earth happened? I don't know what happened. And questioning himself, questioning his career, all that kind of thing. So it could be sat there licking his wounds, feeling sorry for himself. Or he could be out there plotting. He could be out there coming up with a master plan of how he can defeat Tyson Fury, strategizing and all this kind of stuff. Now, I know the Wildettes, they'll probably come out with that one. Well, if that was true, then the fight would be on, wouldn't it? And you would have heard from Wilder. The confidence, you would have heard from it. But you haven't. So for me, I think he probably is sat at the side of the lake, still licking his wounds. But it just goes to show that Joshua, I mean, he could go in on Wilder and, you know what, you can call it karma. You could call it revenge in some ways because of what Wilder was doing with Joshua. But Joshua just isn't doing that. He's giving him the benefit of the doubt. And, of course, Joshua, I don't think that he particularly likes Wilder because obviously Wilder's been lying for the longest time about why them two didn't fight and trying to blame Team Joshua and everything when all the receipts were there to show that it was Joshua who put in the official contracts. It was Joshua that offered real money. It was Joshua that was actually making the moves. It wasn't Team Wilder. But somehow there's a narrative out there that Joshua didn't want to fight. Unbelievable. But for me, I think that this just shows that Anthony Joshua is more man than Deontay Wilder. He's taking the high ground. I mean, maybe behind closed doors, he's probably laughing at Wilder and whatever else. Maybe, I don't know. But at least outwardly, he's not doing that. He's not going out there rubbing salt in. He's not down there kicking him when he's down. That's not his style. And I'm pretty sure that Joshua, he won't want Wilder to retire. And he will want to fight Wilder still at some point. But first things first, Joshua, he's got to concentrate on Kubrat Pulev. Or maybe Charles Martin, if rumours are true that Kubrat Pulev is injured, is what it is. And then he's going to be looking at back-to-back fights with Tyson Fury. So hopefully that we get to that point with back-to-back fights with Tyson Fury. And what may out of those two particular fights, at some point, let's see Anthony Joshua take on Wilder, whether it's for the belt or not the belts. For me, I still want to see that fight. I still want to see Wilder take on Dillian Whyte. Okay, I'm being a little bit sadistic because I think that Joshua and Dillian Whyte will not only beat up Deontay Wilder, but knock him out smooth, face down, ass up. I got a little bit sadistic. But for me, it's interesting. I want to see those fights anyway. So hopefully he doesn't retire, but I think he does have the kind of character that will just whittle away into the corners and never be heard from again. I think he's that kind of character. I don't think he's got that kind of heart, that warrior spirit. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.